Hello. Hi. I'm Rachel.
Hello, Rachel. Miss Rachel. How's it going?
Mhm. It's going well, thank you. And you're Ahmed, right?
Yes, yes. My name is Ahmed.
Nice to meet you. I see you wrote to me before. I hope that was
Huh?
helpful. Do you want to go over
Thanks.
the idiom we talked about in message?
Yes, yes. I understand this idiom when you send this your video
Hmm.
on YouTube. Uh,
Good, good.
Idiom it's very difficult to understand because it's different from the meanings.
Right. It's true. So it depends on the context. So
Absolutely.
context, right? The situation. So some people can say it like a joke.
Mm.
Some
Yes,
can, but usually it's out of
it's mixed.
concern.
Makes it from the words, joke, and
Mhm.
expressions. It's and language.
Right. So it's like someone encouraging someone to keep their hobby a hobby, right? Don't quit your day job. Keep it as your
Uh,
hobby, unless it's really good, you know?
what about buff half?
Huff, huff. Oh, what's the context? Can you think of when this was used? Huff,
I
huff.
don't remember that. I
Hmm.
heard in reels buff half.
Huff, huff. It could
Mm.
be lots of things. I'm not sure.
Mm.
It could be
Okay.
like smoking or something like that.
Mm. Uh,
Or like the big bad wolf. I'll puff and I'll huff and I'll blow your house down. The big bad
mm.
wolf says that. I'll puff and I'll huff,
Mm.
puff and huff.
Uh, how can I improve my English language fast? Is there a magical way to
Hmm.
improve my English language?
That's a good question. Well, it really depends on your goals. So I see you want to grow your career,
Mm.
right?
Yes.
Can you tell
I'm
me
English
a little bit? Hmm.
about myself.
Yeah, can you tell me about your career goals and how you
Uh,
use English in your career?
I'm English teacher. I teach
Hmm.
English for primary school, and I want to improve my English
Okay,
language. And I use it for my
you want
job.
English
And yes,
for private school. Wow, okay. Great. So I think the best way is to talk like this to someone who is a
I
native speaker and to,
unfortunately I live in Arabic country and always speak
mm,
Arabic and dream in Arabic.
I understand. Okay, no problem. So
Let me
what you
ask
can do
you.
then? Mhm.
Okay, let me ask you about the people who are learning second language, English, Italian, France. Do you think they are dream in the second language that learn it?
It depends. So sometimes it's a sign that you are immersed in a language, right? So if you dream in your second language, it means it's you're processing it in your brain on a certain level. So you don't have to dream in English all the time. It's not
Yes,
a
I was dreaming.
requirement. You
Yes,
want
I
to
was
dream it.
dreaming
That's good.
something,
That's
and
good. That's a
some
good goal to have a
yes,
dream in English. You can't
yes,
control your dreams, though. You can't control it.
uh,
But what you can do is practice. So you can listen to resources. You can watch videos. So as long as you have access to resources, it helps a lot, right? So what do you do in your English time for practicing English? So for
I
yourself.
always listen to videos and watch TV. That's to speak English and listen to the news in English. But not always to listen to watch TV to listen the news because I really don't like to
Right.
use sometimes to
I understand.
watch
Have you
video for the tutors and teachers on YouTube.
good. Perfect. That's great. So, have you ever heard of the Ingu app?
Uh, I use Ingo, but a little bit. But I think the Ingo it's useful Ingo, but sometimes it's to
Hmm.
be feel bored when you use Ingo because it's there's a real language and unreal language. A difference between when I speak with a person, speak with
Right.
the AI. That's difficult. That's
Right.
different between the we
Hmm.
use I think use real language is better than to use another tools or
Yes,
kid
I
to
agree.
learn English. Mm,
I agree. And when you have it as much as possible, you can use it. So,
mm,
uh, so what you can do, I like Ingu because it structures it for people who are learning or practicing their English. It breaks down vocabulary words. You can listen to the article. You can discuss it with someone. It has questions. So what you can do, you don't have to use this site if you don't want to, but it's a good idea to keep reading articles, right? So pick something in your field that you are interested in and read articles about it. Read, read, read. So don't just listen. And so you listen and you watch, but also read and read aloud. So you can
Let me ask
practice.
you about. Do you think practice that's mean to add it for the four skills? That's mean practice. There's a four skills to learn English: listening, speaking, reading, writing, and we add the five skill for the skills practice. That's mean a practice. It's to help you to learn English and to write and to read, to
Mhm.
listen to
Right.
speaking.
So I'm saying doing two at the same time. So practice reading aloud. Do you do this often? Read
Do you know
aloud.
website?
So,
Do you know website to read about English language, especially for the stories?
yeah, that's a good idea. So I know Ingu is one that I use. Let me look at my resources really quickly.
We
I have a
can
lot of,
we can use Ingo
right.
for the reading.
Yeah, I think it's a good start, but then, so I think I shared it with you. So let's see if we can find the hardest one on Ingu. Hold on. Let's look at it together. Let's start with that, and then we can always move to something else. So let's go to daily news. All right, and so we're gonna go to level. We're going to proficient. Okay. Oops.
Mm.
So we're gonna go to level 10 proficient. So I'm gonna make it the hardest level. Okay. So these are all proficient articles. So these are these are kind of like news articles. So we have lots of different ones to choose from. So this is the hardest one, and so it has higher vocabulary here.
Okay,
Um,
I get that. How much time do you think learn English with 6 years? Do you think 6 months it's enough, or 1 year it's enough to be fluent?
mhm. Well, because you already speak English and you are teaching English, so you are actually immersing yourself quite a bit already. So that's good. So all you're doing is you're brushing up on your skills and you're polishing them and you're making it better, right? So I think you speak really well so far from talking to you. I think it's we all can learn more vocabulary, right? So vocabulary is a big thing. And if you feel confident with your grammar, that's better. So try to think of, do you feel like you have any weak
To
spots in
read
your grammar?
to learn To learn, I'm sorry to cut your speech or interpreter. Learn English language before to learn grammar, or both of them together.
For you? Hmm. I
Yes.
think you, I mean, learning to speak is one thing, and then having grammar courses is later. So in America, when we learn English, so we speak English at a young age because that's our first language. And then we have grammar in school. So when kids speak English, their grammar is not always correct, right? So they learn correct grammar over time through practice. So in elementary school they learn quite a bit, and even in writing, and middle school and high school and speaking, they perfect their English even more. So it's a process to learn a language, right? So this is what we need to think about, that it's a process. So think about where you are in this process, how far you've gone, and where you want to go. So you want to become more fluent. You're already teaching. You already know quite a bit about grammar. You're probably reading, have lots of resources. So uh, I would say keep speaking. Listen to maybe scientific articles. Uh, that would be a good idea. Podcasts. You listen to podcasts.
Yes, I sometimes to listen podcast.
Right, right. Okay, so that's another good way. So I would say to
Listen to
speak as much
podcast.
as
That means
possible.
to stop in every word that I don't to know it. Should I translate or never translate? Just listen to the podcast.
Right. So words that you don't know for other people or for yourself. How do you translate?
No, no. For me, sometimes I don't know some expressions or words in podcasts.
Right. So I would say idioms. You already mentioned idioms are really important. So I would say let's do idioms. Let's take a look at an idiom site. So here's one site that we can look at. And I can share this with you because we're running out of time. But so this is, I would say study idioms then. That would be a good way. So like under the weather,
Send,
cold feet, apple of my eye, set the record straight, kill
send
two birds with a
the
stone.
link,
No one.
Miss
Hmm.
Rachel. Send the link for this
Of
idioms.
course, of course. Yeah, I would say study your idioms. And watching TV shows helps with that too. So if do you have a TV show you like in English?
Yes,
Do you watch movies?
there's BBC
BBC,
News,
good. You watch BBC. Perfect. That's good. Yeah. So
CNN.
perfect. So if you're watching the news, that's a really great way to keep
But
practicing and to
sometimes
keep expanding.
there's expressions in or sentences in the news. It's difficult to understand. I use to translate I used to use the website to translate.
Right. So that's okay. You can translate what you need to for yourself. You're learning vocabulary. So make sure to write it down, review it, go back, maybe make a notebook of words you are learning, and make some notes when you see a new word and look it up in the dictionary. So I would say look up words as much as you can. I still look up words in the dictionary. If I read a scientific article or something where I have words that, so we're out of time, Ahmed. So go ahead.
Thank you.
I would
Thank
say
you.
you are advanced. You are advanced.